But I realized there's two different things that happen with dirt. Some people get buried in dirt, other things get planted. And I didn't realize that, you know what I'm saying, that I was a seed, and in that seed, it helped me grow into who I am today.
Yeah. That was a little Wayne-ish, a little bit. Talk to us about the punchlines and motivational speaker. What's good, people? Y'all know what's happening. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all tuned into another goodie, another episode of the D.A.D podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, do us a favor. Like, subscribe, comment. Follow up on the D.A.D podcast.
Easy. You already know, man. Y'all gonna continue to drop those comments, but subscribe most of all, man. And hit that notification bell, too, so y'all can be notified every time we drop some new hit.
Yes, sir.
So, man, what's going on, man? Today is breast cancer. Well, today is the beginning of the month. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We want to pay our respect and pay homage to those that lost their lives and to the family and friends of those that lost their lives. I lost quite a few people to cancer. You know, I believe we can all attest to this.
Yeah.
So, y'all want to touch in on any of that?
Well, since it's breast cancer, I'm going to give you a couple facts on breast cancer awareness. So 1 in 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime.
Damn.
So 1 in 8 women.
1 out of 8 women. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And there are over 3.8 million breast cancer survivors in the U.S.
Okay, the positive side of it.
That's the positive side of it. But this year, 2022, an estimated 43,550 women will be diagnosed or die from breast cancer.
Damn, that's a cold statistic.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
a cold little wipeout. Like,
So it's also the second leading cause of cancer, death from cancer. So,
wow.
Yeah, man. So just want to pay respect and just give a moment of silence to those that have lost their lives to cancer in general. Yo, but what's going on, man? How y'all doing? How was y'all week?
man, chilling, man. My week was pretty good. Started off kind of slow, then it picked up in the back end, but it was cool. I went to Joe Moses' album release party on Thursday.
How was that?
It was lit. I had fun at the time, yeah.
That's what's up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Drinking champagne, you know what I mean? You know how I do.
That's what's up, man. That's cool, man. But today we got somebody real special in here today, man. Real special brother of mine, man. A friend as well. I met this dude. Actually, he's my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
I met this dude. Real cool, genuine dude. I think it was like a football Sunday or something. We kicking it. I'm outside having drinks. He out there. I see him like intervening with his kids and stuff like that. Somehow we start talking about like fatherhood a little bit or whatnot. And then it just led on to a lot different conversations, plethora of other things. And what I can say, man, this dude is a motivational speaker, man. Anytime you feeling down, anytime you feeling any way like, you know, you just not too sure about something, man, you could just tap one of my brother videos, man, and it would definitely uplift you.
Was it your favorite cousin?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I'm going to let him go more into what he do and go into details. But got your favorite cousin in here, your brother Wendell, man. What's going on with you? How you doing?
What up? First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for giving me this opportunity to get on here and share and be able to come here and just talk life. I think that's super important, especially for men, for us to be able to come together and just talk about so many amazing things. What for me, like you said, yeah, I'm a motivational speaker, but I'm a normal everyday person just like anybody else. I grew up in South Central LA. Father was sentenced to 19 years in prison. Mother was addicted to gambling. So I had to figure a lot of stuff out myself. I made a lot of mistakes. From them mistakes, I've learned, and now I'm willing to teach.
That's what's up.
Man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So let's dive into your childhood a little bit. You said your father was sentenced to 19 years. As you can see here, we big on fatherhood.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
My boy was low-key a deadbeat, low-key, I ain't gonna lie, but we had to pick him back up. Shout out to my boy Verno.
That's how you coming, huh? All right.
Nah, man. But yeah, man, we big on that. So talk to us a little bit about how did that affect you in your life, and how did it play in your life today with the father that you are to your children?
Yeah, it did affect me. I think, especially as a young man, when you're trying to figure yourself out, it's a lot of things that I had to learn how to do myself. From the simple things of learning how to shave. I never knew what that was. I remember getting with my wife, and my wife was like, "Hey, go get the oil change." I'm like, "Go get the oil change?" I ain't never been nowhere or seen nobody change no oil. So I'm like, she tripping. The car don't need oil change. But that's where, you know what I'm saying, I believe it affected me, especially in my marriage, where it was a lot of things that I just didn't know.
Right.
So for me now, it's important for me to teach my boys things that I think that's going to be essential to them, especially not only when it comes to being a parent, but being a husband. Right. Because this is where I dropped the ball at. You know what I'm saying? I realized that it's important to teach them about financial literacy. Nobody taught me about that. Right. The only thing I learned about making money, it was hustling. Right. You get in the streets, you buy something, and not knowing that there was another side to that. If you learn to change it and do it in a more business way, a more legit way, then yeah, you could find a way to actually support your family that way and don't have to worry about having the police look over your shoulders. Right. But that was all I knew growing up. Yeah, that's all that was around me. I remember being 8, 9 years old, flipping balloons on the kitchen table. My daddy cooking up work. I'm flipping the balloons. Once I get done flipping the balloons, he give me $10, and I'm happy as a kid. Right. I get to go get me some Jack in the Box or something. Right. But it really affected me in that way because I started to take a lot of that. A lot of my brothers took it and fully ran with it and end up slipping up even harder than I did, due in large part that they picked up a lot of the stuff that you probably wouldn't want to pick up as a kid. Yeah. Right. So, but that's why I'm so big on being in my kids' life. I don't believe my kids would be as important to me if my daddy was there for me. I think for me, it helped me realize, like, no, I need to be there. Not that I need to be there for them, due in large part that no one was there for me. Right. When I was looking for an outlet or looking for somebody to talk to or look for, you know what I'm saying, even when it came to dealing with girls, I didn't know that you're supposed to put a condom on it first. You know what I'm saying? You jump right in. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying?
Right in.
Yeah. You go for a swim.
Swim, you ain't coming back, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so it was a lot of, so that was a lot of the ways that it affected me. But now as a dad, I feel like it's super important for me to be there because all kids want you to do is be there. Yeah. The way kids spell love is TIME. I don't care what you give them financially. That's why you hear dads like, man, I gave you everything. They don't care about that. Right. How much time would you spend? How much time are you gonna spend with me? Mm-hmm. Let's talk. Let's get out what's in you. Let's share.
And kids don't really care about you giving them stuff until that 13, 16. They don't care about that shit right now, man.
But to me, even at that age, the reason they want that because they feel like you're not there.
Right. No, I'm not spending the one. I mean, like, our kids are like, they're influenced.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm here with my kid, but
of course,
I would like some nice things. I'm not saying like,
I might see some of the stuff.
Yeah, I'm saying right now it's the time. It's time. Yeah, and them building that bond with you. I'm talking about when they start wanting stuff is later when the wants kick in.
Of course,
they start gaining their personality and their likes and everything.
Yeah, what they want, how they want to dress. Like you said,
But not to cut you off, man, because I want to slow this down a little bit, bro.
Yeah,
I want to slow this down a little bit. Let's go back.
All right.
Let me know a little bit about where you came from, where you grew up at, what part of L.A., Los Angeles County. How old were you when you experienced these things from your father going to prison, understanding your mother with the gambling addiction, your siblings.
Yep.
What was it like in the household? Talk to us a little bit about that.
That's so crazy. Fathers in prison back then. Like my father was in
Hang
prison.
up.
Your father in
A lot
prison.
of fathers was
Hey, your father
getting
was in prison
indicted,
time?
too.
For sure.
What about you, Jimbo?
Get some county time.
That's a good man. Then you feel me? You feel me? Like,
Yeah. So initially, my life started out well because my daddy was doing well in the drug game, and you know what I'm saying. Unfortunately, it was a lot of families hurt because of it. But at that time, I didn't understand. My family were doing good. My daddy was driving an all gold 6.4. That's why they called them low rider with gold D's. That that's how it started for me. So I remember going to a private school, get home, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mom was there, but my daddy was going in and out of jail at the time, but it was small stints at
How
first.
old were you?
Yeah.
How old were you about?
I was maybe, when I first started realizing it, it was maybe about 5. Like I said, it was about 5. And when he finally,
Did you always know? Like, you know, when he go for a little bit, was it, oh, daddy gone for a little time, or
oh yeah, it
was
was
straight up like,
yeah,
oh, shit,
it wasn't no hiding it. It was
it was
daddy
what
in
it was?
jail.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because what happens is we would go to the jailhouse and see him.
Right.
This is where you go in, and they had like a little house in the front or a place in the front where the kids, you go hang out, and mom go in. Maybe later on you come in, get to see him. So I got to see him in the prison uniform.
Yeah.
I got a funny story.
At that young age, bro.
Yes.
How was that for you? Because I can recall my first time visiting my father, bro.
Yeah.
This was the first time I seen him face to face. I was 9 years old, G.
Yeah.
And went out to North Carolina on a flight with my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
They set up the visit, bro. And just going through all these locked doors, bro.
Yep.
Everything just through the system. Like, you can't, it ain't no key, no nothing.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And going through all of that and then seeing them like just locked up, and at the time too, well, still, you know, it's like no visits like, you know, you could touch or nothing like that. It's like a thick ass glass and the bar between the glass. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no touch, no none of that. You feel me? But for me, at 9 years old, bro, I shied away because it was like, bro, like, I don't know what to talk about with this dude. Because this was actually my first time encountering and meeting him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a shy thing. It was a thing like, how do I open up to this?
I don't know.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it made me sad, too, to see my dad, bro, on the other side of that. And it's nothing that I could do, nothing that I could say, regardless to anything, bro. Like, he ain't coming home. He can't just leave you out of here with me. You feel me?
Right.
So that shit made me sad and everything like that. But I remember that vividly. I mean, I remember it clear, crystal clear.
Yeah.
Tell me what it was like for you when you used to go on them visits.
For me, it was a little different because obviously we got to touch him and talk to him. But I was naive. This was like
The norm?
it was like getaway. We get there, we got popcorn, we got food. We sitting there, we actually having conversation. He's mostly talking to my mom. I'm just sitting there, just kind of, you know what I'm saying, enjoying myself. It kind of felt like
a trip.
Yeah, like TV or something.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't as like, oh man. It wasn't until I got older that it really impacted me. In my younger days, it was more so like, oh, we're going to see my daddy. We're going on a getaway.
See, that's crazy because I got a funny story. Like one of my boys, when we was young, I ain't gonna say his name or nothing. He used to be like my dad in school,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, oh, his pops in school. You know, he'd go see his pops and all that. Then he finally cast a picture. Like, yo, pops.
Yeah.
He like a good like 8 or 9 though. Like, that's why I know how you feel because he got told that, and when, like you said, when he go up there, it's the locked doors. He ain't hearing that. He hear it, but it's like, oh, I'm getting candy, chips.
Yeah.
Seeing all these people, my pop shaking hands and seeing.
Yep.
It don't seem that tensed up as it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it didn't feel crazy. It just felt like I was going to see my daddy, and before long, he'll be home. And that's kind of what it was. It wasn't until I got to maybe 14 when he got the long time. At that time, I was super aware of what was going on. I had a great understanding of when you go to jail, you going away.
Right.
And with that, that's what and I felt like at that crucial time in my life is at the time that I was hoping I had a daddy around.
That's the most important time.
It was the most important time. I was struggling in school, being dyslexic. I struggled to read. It felt like I had no support, no outlet. I had nobody there for me. Mm-hmm. And with that, it just felt frustrating. One, we moved from the house that we were in. We ended up moving into my grandfather's house because my mama was trying to figure out how to pay for everything. So she ended up building a gambling addiction. And before long, it would be weeks at a time where she didn't come home. We had my grandfather's house, and all my aunties were on drugs. So with that being the case, it was like we were raising ourselves.
Right.
Lock the fathers up, put the mothers on drugs.
Right.
Yep.
So looking back at that time in your life, right,
Mm-hmm.
with you being a motivational speaker and all, and what's something that you probably something that could have helped, that you've learned through your process in motivational speaking during that what could have supported you? You think that somebody could have told you during that time where you felt like you was kind of like alone?
I don't know if it was anything somebody could have told me that made me feel different. I felt like I had to go down the path that I went through in order to grow into the person I am today.
Right.
I don't think I would be a motivational speaker if I had somebody sitting there teaching me how to read, going through the process of being there for me when I needed somebody to be there. I think for me, my biggest blessing was the fact that I did have to teach myself how to read because I realized how hard it was. So now when I'm looking at another young man who's struggling in school, I'm not like, all you need to do is get with somebody and learn how to read. I realized, no, it's a little more to that.
Right.
Like I said, so with that, it helped me like become the person I am today. Me want to motivate and encourage because I felt like if everything was already set in place and I already knew how to read and financially we were good, I'd probably be in a whole different direction and probably be a little more judgmental. I think
who wants to hear motivation for a person that didn't have to motivate for nothing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, you talk about being dyslexic.
Yep.
When did you understand how valuable it was for you to learn, teach yourself how to read and things of that nature?
I don't know if I seen it valuable. I was frustrated doing it in the moment. But when I got to about 30, I was able to kind of look back and realize like, dang, this is the reason what led me to motivating people, to push me to want to encourage somebody to seek their full potential, due in large part that at times I didn't feel like I could do it.
Right.
But I just kept going. And it was in high school when I first started to pick up the mantle and wanted to learn how to read. It was a guy by the name of Ebony Banks. He ended up coming up to our high school, and we were having a football game, and while in the locker room, he came in there, he was encouraging us. And a lot of times in that conversation, I felt like he was talking directly to me. He was talking to a room full of people. He didn't know who I was, but for me, I felt like he was talking to me because he came in there and talked about how his father wasn't in his life growing up, how his mother was addicted to crack cocaine, how his brother got killed. And he talked about how he couldn't read in high school. He ended up getting around the right people who taught him how to read, where he went off to college and eventually got his PhD. In my mind, I was sitting there thinking, this is the first time I ever thought that, Wendell, you could possibly go to college. Because I'm like, he couldn't read in high school, and I couldn't. So this is what forced me to do it. Yeah, at the time I was embarrassed because I didn't want my friends. So I would go sneak to the library because I was like, man, where are people at that's going to college? Most times they're in the library. So I would go there, and a lot of times I'm just sitting looking around. And I would get a piece of paper And as we walking down the street, people say stop, see a stop sign, STOP. I write it down, go to the library, and constantly work on that word. So I was eventually able to do that with enough words. So I was able to formulate sentences, be able to pick up and read a book at times. But it took a while. It was frustrating during the time, but it ended up helping me realize how important discipline is, how important consistency is. If you really want to do something, if you stay focused, you can get it done. And this is where, for me, I think it birthed within me that ability to want other people to succeed and other people to live out their dreams and be everything that they are meant to be. You know, because I realize it is hard. However, just because it's hard don't mean it isn't possible.
That part.
And I think that's the toughest thing that we run into is it's hard, so I can't do it. No, it's hard, but it's still possible for me to do it. Because there's people who made it from worse situations than I made it from.
Right.
And as I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about that, it's like, wait a minute. Let me get out here and help other people realize that if I'm able to do this, you can do it as well.
There's no situation that's never happened, right?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. That's like I always tell people, I can predict the future. And most people are like, how could you predict the future? I was like, what comes after the summer? The fall. What comes after the fall? The winter. What comes after the winter? What comes after the spring?
Summer.
Every year.
Never changes.
What comes after night?
Daytime,
Say that.
morning.
What comes after day?
Say that.
So what happens is the area that we spend the most time in, we become the best at. And I realized in the community that I grew up in, you learn how to roll weed before you learn how to read. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of focus and emphasis on gangbanging and selling drugs and using drugs. So that's what it became. So that cycle has a lot to do with going in and out of jail. So it wasn't.
Right. Because I don't got to know how to read the gangbang.
No, you don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to judge you for not knowing how to read.
Sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What they'll do is they'll take your ignorance and use it against you. So with that, it helped me realize that a lot of stuff is predictable if we take time to sit back and realize that, oh, okay, if I do this, this comes with this. If I do this, this comes with this.
Right.
And from that, it helped me to realize that if I want to do something or I want to inspire somebody to do something, let me show them how if you continue to go down this path, will this lead you? And if you continue to go down this path, will this lead you? And there's nothing you can't do if you're willing to go down the path to where you want to be.
And then you said one of the key words, show. A lot of people just like to talk about it.
Yeah. Say that.
Show. You feel me?
Say that.
That's what it is. A lot of people talk that I used to do this, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once you show somebody, you know, because you know most black people are visual learners anyway.
Most people in general are visual learners.
I'm definitely a visual.
What happens is most times in our community, we're not patient with each other.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And because we're not patient, I'm not willing to show you. You just need to know.
Right.
And if you don't know, you're stupid.
Yep.
Instead of realizing, no, it's not that I'm stupid. It's the fact that I haven't had time to go over something enough.
How could I never know something that I wasn't never taught?
But that's exactly.
Right.
That's exactly. And I think that's what especially black men, myself, for example, that held me back for so long is the fact that I felt like I was stupid.
Yeah.
I never heard nobody tell me, when do you got something special about yourself?
Right. We look, man, we talk motivation. We talk what you do, you a motivational speaker, amongst many other things.
Yep.
So my question for you, and I want all y'all to elaborate too, sometimes that motivation just ain't there. You feel me? Like a lot of times, more than not for some,
Yep.
sometimes it's there more than, it's not there.
Yep.
My question is, as far as for you being a motivational speaker,
Yes.
you're still human. I know some days you might wake up, you might be like, man, I ain't feeling motivated to do this, or I don't want to do that. And we can replace the motivation with consistency, right?
Yep.
But it's hand in hand, because to me, motivation too, if I'm motivated about something or enthusiastic about something, I'm going to be consistent with it.
Yep.
Talk to me about the days that you don't feel it. You just ain't. I don't feel like putting this video or giving this information to the masses. Not that you holding back no information, but you're just not there mentally.
Yes, that's a
How you
great
get
that's a
through those
great
days,
question. Because I wake up with that most mornings. However, it's perspective. I think perspective drives performance, and the way you view something will always dictate how you do it.
Yeah.
And for me, like you said, I try to change my perspective about the very thing that I'm looking at.
Say that.
Like, because most times people say, I want to be a millionaire. I'm like, okay, you want to be a millionaire. Like you said, that means you have to change your perspective on exactly what it is that you're doing, because what you're currently doing can push you to a point where you can make millions. However, we don't believe that, so that's the reason why we don't put the time into it. That's why if somebody told
Exactly, I believe
if
that,
somebody
100%.
told you there was $1 million in New York right now, you didn't have the money, you didn't have the resources, what would you do to get there? People will say anything. Why? Because we put so much value on that. Our perspective is this $1 million is everything. Instead of when we look at our dreams, when we look at our goals, when we look at our visions, when we start to think this is everything, this is the $1 million. That's what keeps a person going. That's what keeps a person getting up every morning, because I want to prove to me that I'm right. I want to prove to me what I'm doing is helpful. Right. So it's changing my perspective, and by changing my perspective, it helped change how I interact with the things that I do. So it makes me get up and do videos when I don't want to do them. When I'm not feeling it.
I feel that. See, mine's is similar, but mine's is more so like, because I wake up unmotivated often too. But at the same time, what pushes me to keep going, I think the shit that I'm tripping on or whatever, it's really a blessing for somebody else.
It is.
Right.
Somebody had worse.
Perspective.
Like we just said, ain't nothing that ain't ever happened under the sun, G.
Sure.
Nope.
You feel me?
Right.
So that's the shit that keep me kind of like, damn, what if I wasn't out here? At least I got the ability to be able to move around and do this and do that and make something happen.
Yeah.
I recently read that statement, like your complaints is somebody else's blessings. So the shit that you going through in your life that you able to go through, you know what I mean? Somebody wish they could go through some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
People, so it's about perspective, like you said.
Yeah,
It's
for
all
sure.
about perspective, and you know what I mean? You can look at the glass empty or the glass half full, however you want to look at it, but you know what I mean? That's, you got to find your motive. You got to find it in yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so true, because I tell people, just like you can go recycle cans and bottles, you can go recycle your pain. You can recycle the things that you're going through and make it something more. My pain, you know what I'm saying, and the things that I was able to overcome is now able to, I can recycle that and put it in a book for somebody to be inspired, for somebody to be encouraged.
Talk to us about your pain.
My pain was, my pain came in a lot of different facets. One, I didn't believe in myself. I was very depressed within myself, looking for other things I felt that would give me validation and give me purpose. And then you get these things and you realize these things ain't what the world make them out to be.
Right.
It wasn't until I started to love me. Because initially I was like, oh man, when I get with my wife she's going to be the one. Or I get with this girl, she's going to be the one. I realized that I'm not supposed to make you happy and you're not supposed to make me happy. It's my job to make me happy, and you become the side dish. You become everything else. I know people don't like hearing that word, like, oh, the side dish. Yes. Like you said, I'm the main course in my happiness.
I'm the star player.
Right.
I'm the main
Ain't no
course.
other star. That's what I'm trying to
That's
tell
real
cats.
talk.
Cats don't be hearing me, though.
Tell 'em
We have to
then,
teach-
I
what?
always say that. I'm the
We
star.
got to teach my guys that.
I'm the
sometimes,
star. You feel me?
You're the star of your show. It's your
Yeah.
show.
I'm the star. I might be the star of some other niggas' shows too, but I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm the star. You got to feel like you the star of your show to even have people believe in anything you're saying anyway.
You do. And it wasn't until I learned to believe in me. It wasn't until I learned to value me, my time, my energy, the things that I want out of life. When I learned to value these things, now I was able to really step into who I was as a man, as a father, as a husband, But before then, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking for any and everything. Why? Doing large part, it come with abandonment issues, have mom not being there, dad not being there. Like you said, these were my struggles. Like you said, because you're hoping somebody comes in and rescue you, doing large part that at times it felt like no one was there to rescue me. No one there. Not only did I have to have my struggles, I had to still take care of my brothers and sisters. I'm getting up early in the morning, going to recycle cans and bottles, not knowing that one day I'm gonna have to recycle the things that I went through. You know what I'm saying? To help somebody else with it. And that's where I've learned to use my pain. I learned to use everything to keep me going. But just like you go out to a bonfire, you may start out with regular wood, but over time you can throw anything in there to ignite the flame. And that's what I've learned to do. The times where I felt like giving up, I use that. I use times where I'm fully focused. No matter what it is, I take these things and I try my best to use them to help me better myself and the people around me.
Most definitely, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's really what's up.
Yeah.
It's like you said, perspective, man, and how you view things, and that's what's gonna make you greater, though. That's what's gonna take you over. I feel like that's what's gonna elevate you when your perspective of life is parallel.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
you elevating. So that's deep, bro.
I have one more question. When did you know you had the gift to give life? Breathe life into people?
I didn't. It was all right. When I went to my high school, I just felt like I wanted to speak. I didn't know if it was gonna help. I didn't know if it was gonna do anything, but I felt like Ebony Banks helped me. I didn't really know if I'd be able to help other people, but I was like, all right, let me just go back and share. Went back up to my old high school, see was it anybody that I recognized or knew, and it was one of my old coaches. He was still a teacher there, and I was asking him, can I come in and speak? I was nervous. I was shaking. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to get something from it, if they're going to take something from it. I was like, all right, here I go. And then I went into the classroom and I spoke to every class that he had that day. And the kids afterwards were coming up crying and stuff. And I'm like, I'm kind of shocked. Like, wait, you know what I'm saying? I don't really. I just came to talk. I didn't know this would really affect people.
You couldn't believe how many kids came up to you and said they couldn't read and has dyslexia too.
Dyslexia,
ain't that crazy?
Personal struggles that they were going through with their family, and
how many of them were just embarrassed to express it? Just
a lot.
Man, that's a hard thing to tell somebody.
Yeah.
You can't tell. Come on, man. Think about this. We was in high school. You can't come up to like, I don't know how to read.
No,
You know what I'm saying? It's
No,
over.
that's-
You
yeah,
cooked. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's bad on the teacher, the school system too, because how did he even get that far?
Yeah, exactly.
But in the school system, if you learn to navigate just like anything else in life, you find.
Because my school, we had to take reading tests. I had to take reading tests all through elementary. I went to Claire Barden. We had to take a reading class. Because they put you in. It was like ranking. Even in ninth grade,
bro. I went to Sylvan, bro.
Yeah, even
Real
in ninth
talk,
grade.
they really
Ninth grade,
helped me
cats had reading class. Cats had reading classes. And some of us had creative writing.
What school did you go to?
I went to Jordan.
Yeah, like I said.
But before
see,
we went
this-
to Lindbergh,
this-
we had to read, had to take a reading test, to put us in our reading levels and everything every year.
I tell people when I think of Jordan to be, you know what I'm saying, in the inner city, but I tell people in South Central, like not just
I'm so sorry.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
And
LA
not-
Unified School District is
and not just in South Central. We was in the part that they called the low bottoms. We didn't even have a major grocery store.
For sure,
You know what I'm saying? In my neighborhood.
We were just talking about that.
I told you,
Resources
South Central is an urban desert.
Yeah, like you said. So with that being the case, it was more so like they've seen many kids like me. Like you said, so it's easy to just push you through than to keep you in the same grade or push you to learn how to read. So it's more so like, hey, their parents don't care, so why should I?
Our bottom tier schools is nothing to compare to the bottom tier schools.
Yeah, so that was, I think, one of the biggest things that they allowed you to pass, because it was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they got 100 kids that's getting ready to come in here that don't know how to read. Let's keep pushing them.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's push them.
We talked about. I want to talk about it a little bit. We talked about how reading was detrimental. It was really detrimental for you at an early age, and that became a strength of yours. I would guess, right?
It is.
It has to
Strength
be.
of yours.
It is.
Let's
I just
talk
wrote
about
my first book.
Congratulations on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
where the book at, man? Where can we get the
Let
book
them know where
at?
to find you.
You
at.
can go on Amazon. The book is called "See the Greatness in You" by Wendell Jones.
Let's pull.
Oh,
Can we
man.
pull that up, Sally?
We'll get back.
By any chance?
Yes.
He
See
does such a great job.
Yeah.
He's my guy back there.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but what I wanted to ask you, I want to talk about strengths and weakness.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of us know our strengths.
Yep.
A lot of us I said a lot of us know our weakness.
A lot of us don't
Because
know our
I think a
strengths
lot
either,
of
though.
I don't think a lot of people know their strengths.
I don't
either.
think so.
Yeah.
Neither. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
For sure.
I think more
think-
people know their weaknesses than they
Then their
I agree.
strengths, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say, because I can contest to this.
Yep.
I've been in denial at times about my weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Can you talk a little bit about how
What
your
you mean by in
weaknesses-
denial? Like
just like
that ain't me. I could get
yeah,
better.
Yeah, just like nah, that ain't me. What you saying? You seeing? I don't know what you talking about because you feel what I'm saying? Yeah, real talk. Because I know I do this shit well and I do it good. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
okay, yeah, for sure.
but I think a lot of noticing that comes with growth in yourself and seeing and understanding and then taking into heed too, but not really like, oh, I give a fuck about this or that or what somebody say, because my thing is, I feel like, bro, you have to control your life.
Yep.
You got you the driver behind your life, rather regardless of what anybody think. It's no instructions on how to live life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, as long as you ain't out here harming people or doing no shit like that, I just feel like if it worked for you, it worked for you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it worked for you
Uh-huh.
and you being productive. You might do something an ugly way or a different way, but I can't.
Because you might be in somebody else's way though.
But I was just finna say, what we've learned to me hurting somebody is me physically putting my hands on someone. What I've come to realize is a person hurting someone is them not being a full power line. The one thing I realize about a power line is to give electricity to other sources in order to light the city up. But if one power pole go down, it has the chance to affect the way lights are projected throughout the whole city.
Yeah.
And that's the same way when a person is not fully living in who they supposed to be, it end up stopping other people from getting to where they want to be. For example, the reason, you know what I'm saying, certain people get to travel the world dancing is because Beyonce became a power line. And when you don't decide to become a power line, you do affect other people if we know it or not. So we don't realize this is why a lot of times people get frustrated with us because we decided not to be that power line. But when it comes to strengths
is
and
everybody
weaknesses,
meant to be power lines?
huh?
Is everyone meant to be power lines?
No, everyone is not meant to be a power line, but everyone is meant to connect to one.
And that's what he's saying. If you messing up,
Yeah.
you in the way.
You could knock down the whole thing.
You in the way. You finna politic you out the way. You in the way.
And that becomes the bigger thing. Everybody is meant to connect to one because everyone is meant to do something.
Right.
Everyone is not meant to be on TV. However, everyone is meant to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is where it goes to where you talk about. I feel like most people know what their weaknesses are and not their strengths. And I feel like you should triple down on your strengths.
Yeah.
Right.
Elaborate a little bit on that.
For instance, where I'm gonna put it in a basketball analogy. Like you said, I don't expect my big man to bring the ball up every time.
Say that.
Like you said, if you're great at rebounding, that can get you to the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would the
Be a
same board
great-
man get paid?
Yeah, be a great rebounder. But however, the world has told us if you don't know how to dribble and shoot, you can't make it. Right. Instead of, no, I can double down on what I do and get there.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Rodman did it. Like you said, you look at Montez Harrell, you know what I'm saying? He could score a little bit, but he's a high
ferocious,
energy guy.
High energy, hustle guy.
He's doubled down on that.
Right. It's all right to be a role player.
It
Sometimes.
is.
Yeah.
Man, everybody want to be a star, man.
Everybody can't be the star.
Man, role
Sometimes you gotta
players
play
get-
But you
the
got to
role,
think
too.
about it. Everybody that's a role player in the league was the star wherever they was at before
And
they
they
got
last.
to the NBA.
And they last
But,
longer.
but
They
look
last.
at Ginobili though. Look,
Uh-huh.
I'm just giving an example.
Yep.
Look at the Spurs, they whole system
Yeah,
though.
I feel like
The
that
whole
was a
time.
culture thing, though. You feel me?
It was.
Because he not from America.
That's
No.
okay.
He not from
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's the
He
style
from
of
Think
ball
about
he
it.
was playing.
Yeah, he from somewhere where
Yeah.
Out the country.
the country is bigger than the person.
Yeah.
So when he came here, it was when he got pitched to Spurs. We can't. I don't want to put him because he's not of our essence or our thing.
Yeah.
He's from somewhere else.
And the Spurs is
Lou
like that,
Williams.
Yeah.
though. Lou Will.
But
Lou Will.
Lou Will's
Jamal Crawford.
scores. That's all they do.
But they 6 man.
Like 6 man role
They
players.
They role players.
I
But
come to heat up on you.
They double down on their strength. They didn't look like, oh, I'm not that good at defense, so I need to go spend the next 6 years working on my defense. No, let me double down on what I do.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And doubling down on what you do ultimately opens room up for you to be able to do other things.
Like Klay Thompson.
For example, you think of somebody like Diddy. Diddy doubled down on his dancing.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And,
Now
and
he a
because
groover.
he doubled down on his dancing, it opened up
Doors
opportunities
for a lot of
for him to network with people, to do liquor and all kind of
say
other
that.
stuff. But he doubled down on what he was great at.
Say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I needed that. So if you double down on your strengths, your weaknesses, all that shit gonna come into play. You go, those gonna you
You
are who you are. You
You'll
grew
get
with
an
your
opportunity to
flaws.
work on it. You'll get an opportunity to
I
work
think
on your
I
weaknesses.
think strength and weaknesses become important in a household. Like you said, where you figure out who's strong and who weak at certain things.
That's
in
mainly
the
what I'm
corporate
saying.
world, in the business world, you double down on what you good
Yeah,
at.
for sure.
But in the
'Cause
household,
gonna
you're
play in your-
allowed to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
I feel
Yeah.
like you can show your weakness.
Yeah.
I don't care
You
what
can't. No, for sure. You can show your
you can
weaknesses.
allow
but
to be a
your-
vulnerable
but just
you.
because they're your weaknesses, sometimes you still gotta. It still
can
has
work
to
on
be
them.
your.
But that's the
work
things
on
you
it.
have to work. These that's when I
Yeah.
believe you work on things that you weak. Why? Because the people who come behind you, the little people who come behind you, they watch you.
Exactly.
Right.
And based on what you do determines on what they do.
Exactly.
Right.
Like you said, so if you don't take picking up books, reading as important, why should they?
Right.
This is where you see most parents be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? My kids need to go back to school or you need to do this, but you're not doing it.
Right.
Where is the extra inspiration? That's where I think working on your weaknesses become that much more important is when you're doing it for the little ones around you.
Say that,
But when it comes out to the business world, you double down on what you
Oh
good
yeah,
at.
for sure. For
Like
sure.
for me, for example, when you think of business, I'm good at rallying people.
Yeah.
I'm good at managing and getting that. When it comes to processes and stuff like that, I'm okay. But I've doubled down on what I'm great at.
Right.
You get
So
the troops going.
what keeps me around opposed to other people that they're trying to spread themselves so
And
thin.
do so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're not being great at what you're good at. You're not really perfecting
Kobe Bryant
that
was
craft.
a great scorer. I always
Greatest difficult shot maker all time.
I always
It's
tell
not for debate with me.
always
Great
tell
scorer.
Looking
tell people when it came to the defensive end, I don't care what nobody say, he wasn't that good.
You a lie.
I'ma
tell you that.
Hold on. Let me.
I ain't gonna say you a lie. I apologize.
No,
I ain't
you
gonna say
good.
that.
You
I
good.
ain't gonna say
He
that.
was the one.
I like that. I like
I
that
don't know
level.
about
Get-
that.
I like
you get
that level of
touchy.
reaction.
Kobe a touchy
I
subject.
can't
with
say
it.
that. No, but I can't say that.
Let
because
me
I
tell
say
you
the
why.
back
that
end,
ain't
the back
by
end.
He
accident.
liable to throw a
Let-
drink.
Back end of his career for sure. He was
No,
like,
I'm gonna give you the front end. The front end of his career, when they was winning championships, Rick Fox was their defensive stopper, not Kobe.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
they played good teams,
Kings, he was
like you said,
also-
Kobe job, and this is what great coaches do. I don't need you to do that.
exactly. For what?
Capitalize on your
Durant, look at
strengths.
Durant. Durant ain't gonna guard Kawhi Leonard the whole game.
That's what I'm talking about. Double
Yeah.
downing on your
And you-
strength.
on what
So
you're great
what
at.
happens is as
I need your legs good, Kobe. I need you. I
For
need
sure.
30
Fourth
jumpers.
quarter. Fourth quarter, I need you to score 15.
But that's exactly so. For example, Kawhi Leonard is more of a when we talk about you're not gonna give me 60 or 80. I know I'm not getting 80 out of you. You're not that level of a scorer.
Right.
So now I need to spread you out a little bit more. I'm gonna need some more of that defense from you.
Do what you great at.
But
You see what I mean?
give me what you great at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think what we do is, oh man, I'm not good at this. let me try to work on this. No, we live in a world where if I'm not good at it, hire somebody who is.
Right, that's real talk.
But that's where I think
That's what we did.
Yeah.
I got the equipment, wasn't good at it.
Right, man. We wouldn't know how to
It came to the point to where it was like, bro, this ain't us. This ain't what we do.
We gotta go back. Like, we gotta go back and figure something out.
But I think that's where most of us struggle, even myself, is the fact that I'm always trying to work on weaknesses instead of doubling down on my strengths.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I do that, it don't just hurt me, it slow me down.
Right.
It slow down the momentum I could be creating by doing what I'm good at.
Say that.
Right.
Yeah, I probably needed that, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, when you say like, you know, you work on your weaknesses in the household, right?
Yeah.
I think back on me, it's personally like just starting conversations.
Yeah.
Like I got to do that with my kids. Like,
Yeah.
I got to start conversations. I got to be able to communicate with them. But outside, I probably won't start a conversation.
And
Like I probably don't have
to.
nothing to say. I don't really talk
I
about
feel
like
you.
pointless conversations. Like
Yeah.
if you gotta just go jibber jab, I'd rather not.
Say that.
I really
So-
feel comfortable. I really feel comfortable sometimes walking and not saying anything.
Yeah, that's how. If people like
It's
Joe,
nothing personal.
for sure,
right.
like Joe quiet, Joe don't do this, but I just rather not engage in a pointless conversation.
Joe a fool.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna expose Joe one day. I can't wait.
I'm just saying, like in the household, like
whole segment of
This whole segment is slander.
at home, bro, I'm starting all the conversations with my sons and all that. You know what I mean?
That's deep,
Because
bro.
know about their day, get to know them.
Yes.
So they have that open dialogue with me. You know, what I
Yes.
mean, in the household. But like, that's something I work. But it's also preparing me for when we outside. You know,
Yeah.
outside don't work.
Yeah.
Say
It's
that.
more comfortable to talk and all that. You know what I mean?
And with you being
Discussion.
proactive is showing a lot of you being ahead of things.
Yeah.
You know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? In the
sure.
household. And that's mainly what I be talking about too with the strength and weakness as far as the household. Like I want to build the strengths, like the things that I didn't probably have access to
Yes.
as a kid. Those are the things. So I'm not gonna say that they're weaknesses,
Yeah.
but those are the things that I want to give access to mine.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I've never really seen this part of life coming up as a kid, but I'm gonna implement this. But at the same time, I'm new to it too.
Yep.
So I don't know if I would call it a
right.
weakness, but at the same time, I'm new to it too. So as we going, but we gonna get it. We gonna get it.
Yeah. But
That's perfect.
but I think. Go ahead. No.
I was just gonna ask because with him saying that, you know what I mean, and you growing up without a father and you being a motivational speaker,
Yes.
and you having young teenagers as your children and all that.
Yep.
How do they take it with you? How do they accept it as a motivational speaker, as a father? Like, you know, like
And I think you had it pretty worse because you had one and it got taken away from you at a detrimental time. So that's even something else. Like I know some people like, I never knew him.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't
right.
connection
Here,
with that nigga.
we here.
Like, you feel
I've
me?
never
But-
had a memory
But
with
for you to have
my
them,
pops.
14, like on and off, then that's crazy.
I'm gonna answer your question, then I'll belly back to your question. I'll respond to your statement and belly back to the question. And one of the things that I always hear people say is, "Man, I wish I had my daddy in my life growing up." And to me, when I was younger, I wish I had my daddy in my life. But growing up, I'm happy I didn't have him in my life. I tell people this: if you don't have a daddy who's whole within themselves, they will build habits within you that you take and run with. So my older brothers followed in my daddy's footsteps. So with them following in his footsteps, they end up running in and out the prison system themselves, doing a large part that's what he taught them. He taught them what he knew.
Right.
So if my daddy was more on where he was a lot more whole, then I probably would like, yeah, maybe. But if he was there and he was who he was, because you idolize your daddy, like you said, you look up to your daddy. For example, one of my homeboys I played football with, he looked like he was destined to go to the NFL. I mean, killing it. And we got to high school, I mean, going off. Went to college, got to college. His first summer back, he came back, his daddy had just got out of jail. Ended up getting around his daddy. before long, you know what I'm saying, he was way in a whole nother direction. Because when you idolize
You
somebody,
get approved by him.
you try to follow in their footsteps. And when you try to follow in somebody's footsteps, you don't realize the mud that they had to step in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it get on you and you don't even know it.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened to him. And he ended up going down, you know what I'm saying, a slippery slope to where now he's in jail for life.
Damn.
But when I thought about it, you know what I'm saying, because it took me time to really have to sit with myself long enough to.
Nah, what he said, like the impact of, you know what I'm saying, like him not having to even have to live in his daddy's shadows during that time. He didn't have to go through that situation. You feel me?
Yeah.
That was a blessing.
Yeah, and that's so that's why I tell
Perspective.
it is, and my perspective changed due in large part when, you know what I'm saying, I started having kids and I realized how much they watch me and they imitate me and they do the things that I do.
Right.
It helped me like, oh man, no, if he was here, I would have been imitating him.
Right.
I'd have been trying to follow in his footsteps, doing what he do. And before long, I probably wouldn't have been where I was because I realized a lot of times I was getting in trouble, going down the wrong path. And it wasn't until I end up almost going to jail for something I didn't do. I went to trial for something I had no clue what happened. It was an armed robbery I knew nothing about. Me and my cousins outside playing basketball. Police pull up, hey, let me get a shot. We give them a shot. Police come back by, hey, let me get another shot. Get another shot. The third time he pull up, everybody get on the gate. They take another one of my cousins down to the station. We down at the station. The police telling me, tell me what happened. I'm like, what happened? I've been playing basketball all day. I'm in a tank top and some shorts. Like, and what do you mean? He was like, all right, see, this was after being in there for about an hour. He like, see, he let me look out the window. You see your cousin? He's going home. He told us he did it. If you tell me you did it, we'll let you go home. And I'm sitting there like, why does he tell him that? We didn't do nothing. And in my mind, I almost told him that I did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I knew nothing about it. And I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Something just told me don't say that. And I just didn't say it. And from there, going back and forth to trial, I'm realized, because I told myself, I'd never go to jail like my daddy. He's stupid.
So you went
He
to
didn't
trial
understand
and
it.
everything for what did you wind up going to trial for? What was
For armed robbery. It was armed robbery. What happens is that they end up, my lawyer ended up pulling the person who said that I robbed them on the stand. Pulled him on the stand. The judge asked the lady, do you see the person in here who robbed you? And she said no. That's what got me off.
So how long were you?
I was going back and forth to court for like a year and a half.
You was incarcerated?
I end up this was and this is why I always say that the journey of my life, you know what I'm saying, was not by accident, it was by purpose. Right. And I get to the jailhouse. me and one of my cousins, but he was going down for something he actually did. But the other cousin, they end up letting go home. For me, I get down to East Lake. I'm down at East Lake. One of my high school football coaches is in there, and he like, Wendell, what are you doing here? And I explained to him the story. He like, what? He was like, all right, act like he, you know what I'm saying, he ended up leaving. They end up sending me in there with the warrant. He ended up was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, do you have good grades? Me, I know I didn't have good grades, but I'm not about to tell him that. I'm like, no, I got great grades. My grades are awesome. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing well. He was like, okay. He was like, if you telling me the truth, I'm gonna let you go home. You just gotta promise me you're gonna go to court. And I promised him I was gonna go to court. And that next morning, they let me out. And from that moment on, I told myself I am never putting myself in position to go back to jail.
Yeah. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. But that's the type of shit they can do to us, right?
But what happened was I was doing a lot of stuff that I probably should have went to jail for.
Little shake up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That I should have went to jail for, but I didn't. So this was the real wake up call for me.
Right.
I felt like it was like, oh, you looking at 10 years minimum for this strong arm robbery. I'm looking at like, oh man, I I didn't do it. So it made me like, if you can go to jail for something you didn't do, imagine how much time they'll give you for something you did.
Yeah.
Facts.
This shit kind of remind me of the PNB Rock situation, though. How supposedly the killer was with his pops.
Yeah.
When
The blind leading the blind right there.
But
like-
because you following the
your
footsteps.
But
So-
you felt
We
your
go pick him
child.
up like,
miserably.
I see.
You failed your child miserably,
Huh?
bro.
You
But
failed
what,
your
but,
child.
but what happens is it's a lot deeper than that. Who failed him?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the
Generational.
reason. But that's the reason why I talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for people like, oh, I wish my daddy was here. It's another thing for your daddy to be there and your daddy not in the right mindset.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's for sure. Can you talk to us a little bit about trauma? Some trauma that you might have had to experience.
Oh,
A lot of times, because what I'm saying is, you talk to us a little bit about you losing a lot of your family members in the month of August.
Yeah.
Recently, your brother, and respect to your brother, man. Rest in
Recently,
peace to
two
him,
of my
man.
brothers.
Two of your brothers.
Yeah.
One of your brothers, I talk to often,
Yep.
not on occasional, long time. but
Yep.
It was always respect. It was always love.
Yeah.
When I did speak to him. And then it was crazy because this whole time that I did see him, what's going on? This whole time that I was seeing him and having encounters with him, I seen him on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hold on, this dude look familiar. And I seen that you had posted your brother, and I was like, oh man, I forgot. I didn't put two and two together.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, death is a traumatic experience.
It
I
is.
remember losing my first friend. I remember losing my grandma at 13.
Mm-hmm.
Those were experiences in my life that was just like it was traumatic to me.
Yep.
But outside of just losing someone, it's so much trauma, bro.
Yeah.
You know that a lot of people don't identify.
Nah, you're right.
You know, as far as it could be anything, going to jail, having an
Yep.
experience like that. Relationships,
Yep.
it could be traumatic.
Uh-huh.
Talk to us a little bit about the trauma that you have endured and how.
How was you
How
able
you
to
did.
get through it?
Yeah.
One of the things that I constantly talk about is perspective. I think perspective is really what helped me overcome and move past a lot of stuff. Growing up, seeing my auntie shoot up in the bathroom,
Damn.
That's deep.
leaving drug paraphernalia all on the bathroom sink. Like you said, this is where I had cousins who end up starting using crack cocaine at 9 years old.
Fuck.
We all in the same house. I grew up after my father went to jail. I was in the house with 28 people. We were in a 4-bedroom.
Damn.
That nigga said 28 people.
28.
28 people.
How was dinner? How was it preparing dinner? How long did that shit used to take?
No, it wasn't. I told you, everybody was on drugs. My mama was going to the
okay.
casino. Like you said, at times it was every man for themselves.
Okay.
Sometimes where whoever mother they decide to cook, if they had extra, they'll give it to you. If you didn't have nothing to eat.
Damn.
You fall in. Who there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? You had aunties, they would put a little fridge in they kids in their room and lock it up, and you couldn't go in there to eat.
Damn.
So that's why for me, you know what I'm saying, them moments were traumatic, but I think them moments gave me perspective when I'm looking at somebody else who's going through a difficult situation. Instead of looking at them like you're crazy,
For sure.
it makes me look at them and be like, dang, man, I can understand how at a moment's notice you can go from good to totally messed up.
Yeah. I heard somewhere the worst thing to do is call somebody crazy because you don't understand them.
No, that's exactly, and that happens way too often, that people don't understand other people's journey and other people walk through life, and they'll look at them and be like, oh man, that person's crazy. And it's like, no, like you said, you don't know what that person been through.
Right.
Like you said, you don't realize if you've been through that same thing, how you would have turned out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit probably would have broke you all the way down.
But that's exactly, so that's why it's easy to look at somebody else and judge who they are and judge what they do and how they do it. That's one of the main reasons why I don't judge. I look at somebody and like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I know they probably been through something that they felt like they couldn't handle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the traumatic situations at times made me feel like I couldn't handle them, but I just kept going. I don't know. I'm not gonna say, oh, I just felt like you just pushed through it. I don't know. I just kept going. At times, with everything going on, being hungry, not knowing my next meal was coming from, getting up early in the morning to go hide cans and bottles under the house to make sure when me and my brothers and sisters got out of school, we had something to eat.
Right.
I didn't know how that would translate in my life later on. I just felt like this is what we needed to do right now.
Yeah.
And because this is what we needed to do right now, I'm going to do it to make sure we eat.
Wow.
Say that.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Them moments for my sisters and brothers obviously became a lot more traumatic for them than me. Because for me, I kept shifting my perspective about it. The way I looked at it, and for them, it's more so that they fell in the heart of it. Because I looked at that stuff and I kept thinking to myself, like, because like I told you, at one point I felt like my daddy went to jail. He was stupid. I ain't going to jail.
Right.
And it wasn't until I was almost, you know what I'm saying, locked up, I was like, oh, I could do that. That could be me.
Yeah.
Because you look at the person on the street, you look at the person homeless, like, I can never be that. And then you experience life a little bit and you like, oh, I was one paycheck away from being that.
I'm almost that, right? Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's perspective that keeps me balanced, you know what I'm saying, in anything that I do, especially in my life now. Like you said, even when me and my wife is going back and forth, I realize this perspective is something, even if she's just chiming at me for nothing, you know what I'm saying, I feel like it's nothing, I realize it may be something she's dealing with, but she's taking it out on me because I'm here.
Yeah.
Right.
But I realize little things over time through my perspective that has really helped me build the foundation to who I am. But no, traumatic situations can really devastate and hurt people when you don't have the right perspective, or if you go and hide it, just go and try to hide it, and I don't want nobody to know. I think the worst thing that can happen is when you're going through a tough time is to hide it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you start to feel like you're all alone. I remember giving a speech. It was a speech called "I Thought Life Was Trying to Bury Me," and I talked about all the things that I went through that made me feel like life was trying to bury me.
Yeah.
But I realized there's two different things that happen with dirt. Some people get buried in dirt. Other things get planted. And I didn't realize that. You know what I'm saying? That I was a seed, and in that seed, it helped me grow into who I am today.
Yeah. That was a little Wayne-ish, a little bit. Lil Wayne. Talk to us about the punchlines in motivational ticket. No, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, but it's so true. That's what really helped guide me. So, you know what I'm saying? It helped me to grow into the man I am today and the encourager I am today, to help people to realize, like, no. You could either use dirt to bury who you are, or you can use it to help grow who you want to be.
Say that.
And now I'm using it to grow who I want to be and helping other people to realize they can grow into who they want to be. But too often we're trying to get everyone to like us. And I tell people, you don't have to get everybody to like you.
Right.
I was like,
I'm at that point. Well, I've been like that for probably like a good 10 years.
yeah.
I could give a fuck if you like me.
But I tell people there's.
But I'm a likable person.
There's valid reasons for people not liking people.
Yeah.
Like even myself. Like no matter how much I try to help people, there's valid reasons why people don't like me. Just like you can go get the best orange from the best orange pitch patch in the world. It's gonna be people who don't like it. Why? Because they're allergic to it. Because it's too tangy. There's many reasons why it won't like it. That don't mean the orange isn't good.
You can't like that.
It's not for you.
It's just not, and that's where
Not for you.
for us trying to get everybody to fall in our fold instead of I'm good no matter what people think of me.
Say that. Come on.
Because I'm always putting my best foot forward.
That's an important message.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want nobody to feel in the middle of me anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody being.
But you know what I'm saying? Even if they are, a lot of times it has nothing to do with you.
No, it's him.
What happened?
Or it's probably did. I probably did something.
No, but what happens is, but no, the reason I say that, just you know what I'm saying, the reason I say that because I become a projection of what's inside of me.
Yeah.
So if I got hate inside of me, I'm gonna project it on you.
Yeah, straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So you just become the thing that I projected on. Just like you got a projector screen, the projector has something it has to project on.
Yeah.
So I have to project my negative thoughts, my disbelief, my discouragement within myself, because how you making it and I didn't? How you winning and I'm not?
Some people feel like that.
They
you know,
do.
Especially when they knew you since you was a kid or coming up.
Yes.
Come on, man, I know you. What makes him special? What makes him? I know the real him. I know this, you know.
Yeah.
Some
Right?
people are like
You
that.
hit him with I've been a star this whole time. Man.
Yeah.
Some people say that
And
we
you know,
lost out here though.
I do want to talk about.
We lost.
Let's talk about marriage.
yes.
Let's talk about your relationship. How long have you been married, my brother?
I've been married this year, May 7 years.
You made 7 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we've been together for 13, 14 years.
Okay.
So we've been together for a while.
Okay. How did that? What's the process of marriage? Before marriage, how you have to keep certain things going, children. It's
Yeah.
a whole. It's like a mixing. It's like a boiling tank
It is.
of everything. Because
is.
as the man too, you're getting everything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got to hear everything. You
Oh,
got to
you
get
do.
everything.
Everything.
Like the filter.
Everything.
Yeah,
The
and
filter
it's-
at a house.
At the end of the
Hell
day,
Yes.
the decision, not, of course, you're gonna elaborate with your wife. You're gonna get together and everything like that.
Yep.
But it relies on you. Everything is
Everything.
on your back.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that. How you grown from marriage, how you were prior to marriage,
Yeah.
and everything, and also keeping it solidified.
Keeping it solidified, I think, is subjective. But
Why is it subjective?
I'll get to that. I want to answer your
Okay.
your other questions first.
I like that,
I feel like it marriage has challenged me in ways that I probably wouldn't challenge myself. It's made me push in areas that I probably sit at home and just relax and not push. Make me think through things that I probably wouldn't think through. And from that, it helped me develop my character, me as a person. And because of that, it's helped me to be a better person. That doesn't always translate in a relationship because she's always pushing me for more, even at times when I don't want to be pushed.
Right.
Right.
So that's why I say it's subjective. Sometimes I just want to come home and chill.
Right.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to think about business and life and the kids, and I'm just tired. But in that relationship, pushed me to keep going, even though I feel tired and don't want to do it, even though I got it within myself to do it. And I think that's the thing that really helped me and really pushed me is the fact that she don't let me slack.
Right. She's bringing out a better you.
She is, because it's just, I feel like she become like a trainer.
Right.
Where I can go to the gym, I'm going to do just enough to where I don't feel too burnt out and feel too tired.
Right.
When I leave her, I feel good.
Right.
But a trainer is to get everything out of me. And I think that's what a real relationship and a real marriage is all about, is one person getting the most out of the other and the other person trying to get the most out of them. Because I always tell people, what I've learned about marriage is the reason why you wear your wedding ring on your least dominant hand is because where you're weak, I'm strong, and where I'm strong, you're weak. Like you said, my job is not to be strong in every area, just like your job isn't, you know what I'm saying, to be weak in every area. You know what I'm saying? So this is where you may be better with the finances than me. But as we come together, there's no weaknesses.
Like Voltron, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's where if I grab her her weak hand and she grabbed my weak hand, we got our strong hands free. But when we together, you can't see it because both of our strong hands are free, doing what needs to be done. And that's what really, I believe, is still not just, it's not, I'm still going through the process. We still have tough conversations where it seemed like it's about to be over. But for some odd reason, you know what I'm saying, I just sit back and try to put perspective around it. Like I've tried to help her work to put perspective behind things, but nah, you go through that. You know what I'm saying? A relationship is like a car. You gotta get the maintenance done all the time.
Yeah.
Like you said, the more you drive it, the more wear and tear the car is gonna have. And I think that's the same with relationships. People feel like you get in a relationship and everything is supposed to be peachy cream and you look up, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm cool, she cool. No, like you said, you still go through difficult situations where you find things that you don't like about her, just like she finds things that she don't like about me.
For sure. And especially, in a longevity relationship, it's gonna be days. I ain't gonna say days. I feel like you gonna fall in and out of love.
It's gonna be years at times.
You could fall in and out of love.
Yes.
In a longevity relationship, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But that don't necessarily just mean that, you call it quits, because at the end of the day, man, think about what you have been, what you've dedicated yourself to for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had the same passion for that shit every day?
No.
That you did it?
No.
Especially if you did it for 12, 15 years.
And that's with
20
nothing.
years or whatever. That's with anything.
Yeah, that's with anything.
You professional.
Yeah.
Sports
Stop
players,
loving the Cowboys.
anything. No. Shit.
I have.
Yeah, you didn't win on rant.
You
to where it's,
you
but at the
fall out
same
of
time,
love
you
when
still love them.
Yeah,
you
that's what
still love them.
I was just joking
But at the
around.
same
I
time,
was
no.
joking
But
around.
at the same time, it's like I really feel this way.
Yeah.
I'm venting like, bro, we need to
I'm
do
done.
this. Like, I'm sick of
if
this
we don't
shit.
do nothing in the
You
next,
understand what I'm
I'm
saying?
done.
But see,
And it's
I
like that. But at
think-
the same time, this is my squad. This is who I fuck with. This is who I roll with.
I think a lot of times, especially in relationships, because most times we don't want people to know our problems, we won't go get help. We'll try to deal with it internally in the house.
Laugh it
Like
off.
I said, go talk to our homeboys, and our homeboys and they go talk to their homegirls. They gonna tell you because they don't want to.
They don't have the answers, Sway.
don't- yeah.
They biased, too.
What Kanye just came
Yeah,
back.
for sure.
Kanye just
They
came back
biased.
out and said Sway had the answers.
He had the
Yeah.
answers.
But it took
but
some
what-
time for him to say that, though.
It took some time.
But it takes getting around other people who will make you challenge your perspective.
Right.
Like you said, but that's where getting, you know what I'm saying, therapy or whatever the case may be, it's easy to get your perspective challenged, but a lot of times your homies, your friends, people won't challenge your perspective. They gonna be like, man, I know she tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you
y'all
my guy.
like-minded anyway.
I'm not
People
gonna
ain't gonna
question my guy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna question. Her homegirl's not gonna question her.
Right.
So this is where the tension continues to mount.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nothing seems like it's working, or nothing seems like it helps.
ground.
Like you said, and it doesn't become any common ground
Yeah.
because it feel like we should be able to work this out. If y'all were able to work it out, y'all would have done it. And that's where, for me, I'm starting to realize more helping other people, you know what I'm saying, with their marriage and getting people to help us with ours.
Right.
That I don't have to have all the answers.
I put it like this: you can learn from anybody.
You can.
Anybody, bro. I don't give a fuck what position they in or whatever. But what I do want to ask you too,
Yep.
how important is therapy? Not even just in a relationship, but just therapy.
Oh,
Especially when you experience certain things that we normalize.
Yes.
Because we normalize a gang of shit.
we do.
My homeboy got killed right in front of me, but you know what I'm saying? That's just a part of the game. That's how I go.
Yes.
That shit normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be normal in our environment,
Yes.
what we normalize.
Mm-hmm.
But
Our environment ain't normal.
when you think exactly,
Yeah.
So,
when you think about it on the level, it's not normal. So, how you feel about therapy, and what's your take on that?
No, I think therapy is super highly important. I think everyone, no matter what you feel like you've been through or you haven't been through, I think it's important to talk with somebody through your thoughts, because too often we get hooked in our own brains, and I feel like an idle mind, basically your mind all over the place, is the devil's workshop. It'll make you start to question and think about and think through things or say things to yourself and to other people that you probably wouldn't have said. Why? Because you got these thoughts stuck within your head. It's not until you flush something out that, you know what I'm saying, you can start to see the clear path of something. And I think through them conversations and talking through it with people helps us be able to see the very thing that we're trying to see in a better light.
Yeah.
But yeah, because coming especially in the urban community, one of the tough things that often happen is looked down upon. You crazy. Like, nah, I needed help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens in you know what I'm saying, other communities. When they need help, they get it.
Right.
And they get offended too.
You know what I'm saying?
They get offended.
Yeah, and I'm just talking about help with anything. No matter if it's financial
offended.
help, like,
offended.
yeah,
Get offended.
we do.
Why you asking
We
me
do.
if I need help?
We get offended.
Yeah, like somebody asks you, "Hey, you good?"
What you mean?
Why you
Yeah,
asking
I'm
me if I
good.
good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? Like,
I'm good if you good.
Yeah,
I'm really good, bro. Like, you
trying to
should
make
be
some
great then, because I'm good.
even when we're not really good,
Right.
even when we're
We're
when
so
we're dealing
used
with
to
stuff.
saying those things, and we're so used to, I'm straight, I'm good, I'm smooth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm everything.
But I think that's where in therapy it helps us to really work within ourselves to flush out our ideas and be able to move on a better path. But I think as long as we have something clogged up, like you said, if you have your toilet clogged up, eventually it's gonna mess up, make the house smell.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with our personalities and the way that we do things. The longer we keep this stuff bottled in,
Yeah.
before long, it's like, man, why did that person explode?
Yeah.
Why did this person go off? Why
Yeah.
this person shut down on me? Why is this? Because they felt like they had no outlet.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
And I got one thing to say. I want to just to go back real quick. I know we're wrapping up, but I think we should get around people that challenge our perspective.
Yes.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yes.
Like, like you just said, like as humans, we go around people that we want to go with the flow, the easiest path, right?
Yes.
Like-minded.
But
Yes.
it's better. It creates a challenge for you when you around somebody that a challenge with your thought process. Like, so,
Yes.
bro, you out of pocket right now. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be.
Are
nah,
you
that's
around
wrong.
that?
You wrong.
You feel like you're around
Sometimes
that?
I do. Sometimes I do. Sometimes
That's
I do.
important.
But I
Yeah.
feel like that's growing up. Growing. Get around people that challenge your perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean in life. So and also I want to say R.I.P. to Coolio.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, rest we gotta give Leo.
That's a legend. That's a West Coast
Yeah,
legend.
for sure.
Man.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
for sure.
Coolio. And condolences to his family. I actually know his daughters too. So
Yeah,
condolences to them.
yeah, most definitely.
I
Rest in
got a
peace to
question I wanted
Coolio.
to ask you. So, going back to when you said you was dyslexic, right?
I'm still dyslexic.
Okay, so by you having kids, are your kids affected by that? Are some of your kids dyslexic?
My kids are not dyslexic. I have one. My youngest son, he looked like he got a mild taste of autism, but our oldest kids, they don't have it. I don't think they're affected because I've been able to face it. If I wasn't able to face it and really deal with it, I think it would have affected them. I think what we try to hide, you know what I'm saying, end up repeating itself.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why even with my kids, you know what I'm saying, if it's something that I don't know, I don't act like I know it. Like I
Right.
said, I get them the proper help that they need.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And
right.
I think if I didn't do that, then this is where it will really affect them and mess them
Say
up.
that. Say that.
Right.
Right. And I like to give a shout out to my daughter, Milani, student of the month. Let's go.
Hey,
What's
what's the name?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
She turned down the offer to have lunch with the principal, though.
What? What? Hey,
Freeman Way, that's
hey,
the Freeman
'cause
Way?
she just, yeah.
That's my baby. You feel me? That's my oldest. You feel me?
Right.
That's my baby.
Stuck
She
up,
knows what's going on.
stuck
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
That's what's
I
up.
also want to give a shout out to my little man. He just had a birthday last week.
Oh,
man.
shout out to Lil Daddy.
14 years
Birthday,
old.
man.
Shout out to
What
the young
up?
day. You already know, man.
You got a birthday coming up too, man.
Yes,
I got a
sir.
birthday coming up, bro.
Happy
I got a
birthday to you,
Happy
man.
birthday,
Thank you,
man.
What we
brother.
doing for Daddy's birthday, man? We gonna shake the world up.
Yeah, Dez be playing. Every time I hear Dez up to come outside, he be playing. On my birthday, though.
Right.
On my birthday time. I guess he don't come out around when the weather start getting gloomy. When them Libras come out, it's a whole different season.
Yeah, buddy.
Yo, Wendell, show them where they can follow you at, where they can find you at, brother.
You can find me on almost every platform under I am Wendell Jones. IAMWENDELLJONES. If you looking to go get my book, you can go to Amazon.
Can we pull up that book?
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right
there we
there.
go. Talk
you,
about it.
You can go to Amazon and type in "See the Greatness Within You" by Wendell Jones, and you can find my book. If you ever just reach out through Instagram, like I said, I reach back out. I'm definitely open to. I love helping and inspiring people and helping people walk in their greatness. I think the toughest thing in life is that it's not that we don't have it in us. It's a lot of times we don't realize that it's just a few simple steps that we can take in order to fulfill our dreams and goals. I tell people, one of the things that I've learned is if you look at great businesses, they don't try to figure everything out themselves. They take proven models and put their twist to it. You go through the mall, you see a Chinese food spot, they may be, they'll let you go down the line and pick what you want on your plate. Then you've seen so many other companies come and do it. What happens is I try to show you proven ways to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And I think that's what I look to encourage people to do, to follow your dreams, not my dreams, your dreams. And I just try my best to help you get there.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, if you're looking for me on any social media under I am Wendell Jones.
Look for my boy, I am Wendell Jones. Great. Hey, look, before we get up out of here real quick, I know we fan of boxing and we love it. Spence, your team is in question, bro. That's all I got to say. I don't know.
Like, subscribe, comment, man. Tap in with us.
Tap
D.A.D
in.
Podcast. We outie.
We out of here.